Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome back to the Astra VXR build.
Yeah, no, bear with me. Today we're going to be trying to fit a budget Brembo big brake conversion. A budget Brembo big brake conversion kit.
Hey,
yes, I nailed it.
With any build, particularly one that you're going to be taking on track.
Or anything you're up in the power on, really.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, because it's all good going forward, but you've got to be able to stop it.
Do you know what? I was guilty. I was playing Gran Turismo over the years. I used to build like 1,000 horsepower cars and say they were crap because at the time I didn't realise that you have to spend money on brakes.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. That was a game. This is real life.
yeah, if you hit a wall,
this will have an impact. Yeah,
it might be a bit different.
Yes.
So you have stumbled onto a gem. I know a lot of people are aware of this sort of upgrade. A lot of people are not, because when I think Brembo, I think, wow, money.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was only when Rob actually messaged me on Facebook and said, right, I can get you some Brembo calipers.
Yeah.
What ones do you want? And I was like, wow, okay.
There's a choice?
There's a choice, yeah. And I was like, they're probably going to be out of my budget. And then he gave me the price and I was like, wow, okay. Yep, I'll come and get them.
Massive shout out to Rob. He's been a big fan of the channel and he's helping us out exponentially.
Yeah, well, this is it. So there was two options he gave me. You can get the option I didn't go for. You can get a Mark III Renault Megane RS upgrade, but with that you do need to change the discs. So you'd have to get Vectra VXR discs, which are 345mm. I didn't want to do that because Rob said he was running the Mark II RS Brembos on his track VXR, and he said they were absolutely perfect, nothing wrong with them.
It's cool, like, you know, like I love big brakes and big brake discs more than, you know, as much as an X guy, but you know, I can't see how you're going to fit these and think, I wish I went for the bigger disc. I can't see it happening.
Unless I go for like 800 horsepower later on. And then I might, yeah.
Well, you've got a Ford engine. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm pretty sure this will be more than enough for what we're going for.
What have we got here? Well, as you just said, the main thing is the calipers themselves.
Yeah, I'll show you the caliper first. So these are obviously a 4-pot system.
And by pot, yep, you might hear that phrase thrown around a lot. Your normal driving car, I think even the VXR, they're single pot.
Single pot on yeah.
Gee, that's a big upgrade then. Going from 1 piston to 4. Yes. These are genuine Brembos. And yeah, they came off a performance thing. We'll ignore. Everyone, no, be more reliable. We need to.
We know that these do work really well on the Renault, so they're probably the most reliable part of a Renault.
Yeah.
But
because they're not made by Renault.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But yeah, these came silvery, buffed up. Obviously, they've done a few miles on a Mark II. Yeah. So I decided just for this year only, I've just sprayed them. This might give you a little hint of what the car's actually going.
Yes. Yes.
Little homage.
Yes.
So yeah, I've actually bought the Brembo stickers. I painted them and lacquered them.
So before someone says, "Oh, you've got a bit of run. Oh, you've missed something on the book."
Yeah,
you are going to rebuild them.
This is just, I'm going to rebuild them next year. Like I said, I want to make sure that they are right for the car first before I go spending big money on pistons, seals, and everything. If these seals are okay, they're not damaged. All right, that one's a bit twisted, but when they start moving in and out, they'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So that's the first part of the kit. Obviously, they came off of Megane. They are not a direct fit, but fortunately, your favourite place, or the place that likes taking money off you the most.
You should start sponsoring us. The money I've spent with these
You're
guys.
keeping them in business. I think they must have just buggered off all over the customers.
They're on holiday right now because I just spent a bomb again.
And the Bahamas. So Nevlock have provided. We are not sponsored by them. Kenny bought this with his own money.
Yes.
As much as we'd love to, but yeah, they've got an adapter kit.
They've got a conversion kit once again for the Mark III and the Mark II. This is obviously the Mark II kit, so I've gone for the Mark II conversion kit. Comes with the adapter brackets for the original mounting points of the caliper.
The carrier, basically.
The carrier, yep. We have to change the lines. So these are some VBT HEL performance brake lines.
Oh, wow, okay.
So,
we
and obviously, and we got new bolts. Obviously, I think these are to attach to the actual carrier mounting points. Yeah. Because these are the ones that come off the Megane. Obviously, they drop through, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I think it goes in like that.
Easier to show on the car.
I was going to say, yeah.
Again, it's a pretty comprehensive kit. It is pretty straightforward. Well.
Yes, and also another thing I bought off them was a new fitting kit for the brake pads.
Yeah, which is always worth doing.
Yeah, well, once again, I've taken these out and they're a bit battered. There's actually a missing on the tip there.
Again, for normal calipers and carriers, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have little bolts. Brembo do a slightly different for ease of access for pads and stuff like that. They use a pin system, which again we will explain. Well, it was like your Evo, wasn't it? We did a video on the Evo brakes.
We did, yeah. But also a nice little gem on this one, half worn. Well, probably a little bit less than half worn. some EBC yellow stuff pads that came with the calipers.
Yeah. Now, I would be the first person to say I never use old pads or anything like that. But you know, they're good pads. You've done a lot. I just, yeah, for now, we're gonna try. You might hate them, you might not like them.
This is the thing. I might go for bigger again, but like I said, for now, I still want to run the original disc, which I can with the Mark II. I can't with the Mark III. And cost-wise, I can just sling these in, and they're going to work. I know they're going to work.
Yeah, because the pads you want, again, are not cheap.
Yes.
So it is. Yeah,
so yeah, they'll do for this year.
We're normal people. We're not friggin' millionaires.
I was going to say, yeah, budgeting. I've got a box full of VXR parts. I got some new stuff for the Smart.
Yeah, but there's a difference in having the money and budgeting, and you just going, we'll just buy everything, even though just don't check your bank
engine down
account.
the side down there, like, you know. So yeah.
And yeah, for those that are following us, it is actually the first modification for the Smart car.
Yeah, they're going to be.
I can't believe it. I thought you were joking, but he actually bit the bullet and bought a set of staggered upgraded wheels.
And these they usually fit on Range Rovers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
see, a little hint.
Anyway,
special.
right.
Yeah, let's go back to the
fit some brakes, shall we?
Yes.
We've done it a bit different on this install, and I'm very glad we did, because it's a sort of an adapter kit. We thought we'd rip the one side off to make sure we've got all the parts we need, to make sure everything fits, and that is why I am glad we did it first, because we ran into some issues, didn't we, cuz?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So, as you can see the calipers on. What you can't see is it's a different day.
It's a completely different day. It's about 4 or 5 days later, isn't it?
It felt about 3 years. So, the issue we had, the adapter kit is basically replaces your carrier to allow the Brembo to fit on. And the issue we had, we put the caliper, the carrier on, everything that was sent by Nevlock in vacuum sealed bags, might I add. Put it on, and the disc was actually catching the caliper. So it's as if the alignment wasn't quite correct. Now, I put it down to either a machining issue with the carrier or... I don't know what else it could have been.
No, it shouldn't be anything else. Really.
Yeah.
It should be the carrier should be positioned in the correct position to allow the caliper to be bolted directly over the disc.
Yeah, centralising the disc. And you actually, I mean, we tried everything we could with what we had.
Yeah, we even tried the other carrier just in case there was something wrong with the one we had.
So Kenny actually contacted Nevlock while we were sat here trying to install it.
Yep.
Right, do you want to tell us about the experience right there?
Well, first of all, I was told you don't sell those. Nevlock don't sell the carrier adapter kit. And then when I read the actual... the
description, and we screenshotted it ready to send.
And I was then told it was the wrong adapter kit. It was for the Clio Brembo brakes. The Clio and the Megane brakes are exactly the same. So that was a bit of a more confusion. Yeah,
but might I add, this was over about 3 phone calls, a couple of emails, so it was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah,
and it cost us a day of filming.
Yeah, I was going to say we were supposed to be out filming stuff for the Smart Car today, having a good laugh for that. But it's now 4 o'clock. Well, it's gone 4 o'clock. Yeah. I've been running around all day looking for washers because the only fix for it is. We'll go back a minute because Nevlock said I should have received some washers in the kit I had. There was no washers in there. And they've also now said that they haven't got any left and they're not getting any more in. And then I was told they were M8 washers that I needed.
Yep. Just to show you guys.
So I bought M10s to be safe.
Just to show you guys we're not... all the stuff that Kenny's been digging through is stuff he's already had, and then we went and bought these, then we went and bought these, and we had to go back out and buy these. And
then we ended up with these. So if you buy... You need M12 washers, right, if you're going to do this conversion.
Yeah.
But you do not buy the stainless steel ones because they're too thick.
Yes.
It literally needs to be moved over like a mil or so, mil and a half.
I would say, genuinely, this might be different for your car, and I imagine they've sold others and they can absolutely fine. But like I said, whether it was just a slight machining issue, we don't know. But
something wasn't right. So
get some thin washers.
What we had to do was obviously I went and bought them then. They're too thick. Because they're stainless steel ones. So then I went out and bought some zinc ones, which are these from Tool Station, which cost me £1.94.
As opposed to the 15 quid you have to spend in Screwfix,
which are over there, and I open those, so I can't take them back. So this is how thin they are. They are absolutely tiny. They're called penny washers, I believe. I just want to show you the difference between that one and one of the zinc ones.
And it did make a difference because once we fitted that first washer we got, it was jamming on the other side.
They threw it too far off.
Let me show you what I need because it might sound quite confusing. You've got the carrier there, basically the adapter, and I don't even think you can see there. Between the hub and the adapter is where the washer goes that will hopefully get it to sit right. Anyway, that's our experience with it. Like I said, other people might have different experiences, but we've got emails and that to prove everything that we're saying. Anyway, on to the positives, guys.
Yes.
Well, positives for you is negatives for us, because we've been on this about 3 years and we've still got the one side to do. Yeah, so as you can see, we haven't touched this side, so we will bring you guys along now for like a step-by-step. Because the actual procedure is pretty straightforward. Which is
it's brake line off, caliper off, carrier off, and then
new one on.
Yeah, I guess something in my mouth.
I'm pretty sure Kenny's had worse things in his mouth. Anyway, let's get to fitting these brakes. The first step is to strip the old brakes off. We need to first release the retaining clip. Be careful with these, they can be lethal when they fly off. We then decided to move on to what can be the most difficult part, the brake pipe. The pipe tends to seize into the hose over time, making it an absolute nightmare to separate them, as they're quite fragile and you can end up twisting the brake pipe. Not good. The best way to tackle these is patience and precision, hence why I took over. Gripping both ends and easing back and forth is my method of choice. Once released, this clip holding the hose needs to be removed. These also suck. That's what they go like that, and I haven't got a watch on. Out comes the hose. Then it's onto the banjo while connecting the brake hose to the caliper. At this point, brake fluid will pour out. Because we're removing the caliper and the carrier as a whole, we only need to remove the 2 carrier bolts, and the whole thing should lift off the disc. Just like that. Right, now we finally got off. Piece of cake. They do send new lines as well, which is always a very nice. They look braided. They are braided as well.
They are braided, yes.
Again, the quality looks really good. So this basically replaces your standard brake hose.
Yeah, the reason you need these, mind, because I was thinking, well, can't just use old ones? The thread and pitch and everything is different on the original caliper compared to the Brembo ones. So
I didn't know that.
Yep, there you go.
Stay in school, kids. The new braided line is screwed on and tightened carefully.
You?
It's
I've used about 3 of these so far.
That's about the 4th thing I've dropped in that flipping thing. It's good as new. It's now time to fit the Nevlock carrier. These use the factory mounting bolts, and here is where the washers need to be fitted if your car needs them. This is how it should look when it's installed. The caliper is then held onto the carrier using the bolts applied in the Nevlock kit. Refit the brake hose back into the brackets. We initially thought this was a clip that needed to be pulled out. This isn't the case. As you undo the brake pipe, this clip releases itself. With everything attached, we use brake cleaner to clean up any residual brake fluid. Brake fluid is corrosive to paint, so make sure you take some time to clean it all up. The side-by-side comparison is pretty mad. It's very important to grease brake parts before fitting them. This includes the pads, clips and pins. The Brembo brakes use a different method to installing the brake pads. They use pins instead of bolts like most normal cars. If you're a real nerd, you'll use different grease for each part. Nerd! As you can see here, the pins slot through both pads, holding them in place. They do wear and bend over time, so replacements are the worthwhile investment. Give the retaining clips a bit of grease too, and in they go. Finish off with a few love taps to make sure the pins sit correctly. Now that both calipers are on both sides, the next step, very, very important, do not forget this step, is bleeding the brakes. Now there are many, many ways you can do this.
Yes.
If you've got 2 of you, the old-fashioned way is to get someone inside to pump the brake pedal, build up the pressure.
Like we have done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, we're moving up in the world. Kenny spent some monies.
I'm spending lots of fucking bloody money all the time like this one.
I'm sure many of you guys have seen these before. This is basically a pressure bleeder, a manual pressure bleeder. Yeah. And it's very straightforward, but very handy if you've got a twist cap on your reservoir. With the quarter-turn ones, they don't work. But this is very simple. You basically plug it on, build up the pressure, and it acts as if there's someone in there pumping. So I can sit there and do my thing and just film you.
What do you mean you're doing a break-in? I'm just joking.
Okay. The only annoying thing is, one thing to note, on normal calipers you've got 1 bleed nipple. On these you've got an inner and an outer, and there is a one they recommend. I forgot about that.
Sorry.
He was on a budget this month. He's overspent on the VXR, so do you know what he did? He went out and bought something literally this morning.
Yes, I went to Swansea to see Rob again this morning, a guy who had the brakes off.
Yep.
And he sold me one of these, a 90mm intake. So this replaces the whole system there with the MAF, and it just basically acts like a vortex system.
Yeah, apparently it is a worthwhile upgrade, isn't it?
Well, I just thought, why not? We're spending all my money on it, eh?
Just bankrupt yourself, remortgage the house and everything. But race car pro.
Yes, important stuff.
With the pressure bleeder, you simply need to put some brake fluid into the container part, screw the cap back on, then screw the hosed cap onto your brake reservoir, giving a good few pumps. I always go to about 22 psi. Then simply go to each bleed nipple one at a time, crack them open, wait till the fluid comes through the hose with no air bubbles, then lock the nipple back up. Ancient script advises to start with the caliper furthest away from your master cylinder, then work your way in. With twin nipple calipers, start with the inner nipple, then move to the outer one. I don't think I've ever said nipple so much in my life. Once the entire process is complete, release the air in the bleeder, remove the cap from the brake reservoir cap, and just make sure your brake fluid is on max. Let's make sure they're holding pressure, start your car, pump the brake pedal a few times. If it goes hard, success. If it's spongy, try bleeding them again. The saga continues. Another thing I'm glad that you researched is now that the brakes are on, as you can see they're a lot bigger than the standard ones, and you were advised that you may need to run spacers.
So I bought these first, 5mm pieces of crap.
Yes.
We just done it to trial it. They were a tenner for 4.
Don't we? No, I'd never buy them pieces of crap. Don't drag me into this.
Don't you? You bet you did.
Okay,
I was going to say. But yeah, anyway, they're not hub-centric. They're cheap, they're crap. I just wanted to see if the 5mm would be big enough.
Yeah.
They weren't. People were saying 12, 10. I couldn't find 10s. I couldn't find 12s, so I went for 15. Reeling on 15 spray. I might have to get some for the back now because the front's going to be like this. The back's got like that toad with no ass. You seen that? I have to send you the meme. But that's what it's going to look like otherwise. But yeah, so 15mm spacers.
Whatever you look for on your personal time.
I was going to say,
the
what I
wheel's
search for now.
Stick out to about here.
I mean the toads.
Do they work?
Well, the pedal went down quite a bit then, but yeah, we'll see what that does again now. It like sort of the ABS kicked in, it went down a bit more. So
that's the Brembo big braking kit installed on the VXR.
Yeah, when the ABS was kicking in, the pedal was going down quite a bit. So I will rebleed the whole system at some point.
Yeah. Obviously it came with used pads and we've put them on used discs, and obviously the pads and discs don't match up, so that's not ideal anyway, but the main thing is they're installed, they now fit, and they do work, you do stop. So
well, this is the reason I wanted to buy, sorry, I didn't want to buy new disc and pad just in case, because with all the issues we had, imagine if I spent all that money on everything and it didn't fit. Work. But now we know it does. Happy days, I can invest.
Saving up for pads and discs.
Yeah.
But it is a worthwhile upgrade, so we've been told by many people you can't go wrong with Brembos. So we are glad we've done it. Yeah, it was a bit of a headache.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be worth it, which we will find out later on when we give it a proper test drive.
Yes.
But the Astra is coming along very nicely.
It is, look behind you.
Oh yeah, and we just checked that on the stand as well.
Yeah!
That is going in, we've got a date for that. That is, we've had to push it back to April. Just to serve conflicting dates. But yeah, we have got a date. A massive thanks to Ashley at TTC, as always, looking after us.
Always, yep, fair play.
But yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date with that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment.
We didn't say the price on the calipers.
No, we didn't.
We did. Sorry, quick one then.
Yeah.
Calipers from Rob Kaninsky.
Yep.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I butchered it. Yeah, they were £180 for the Mark II RS ones. He does do the Mark III ones as well.
Yeah.
The Nevlock kit was 90 quid. And then I bought obviously the bits and pieces extra.
7,000 washers and the fuel running up 5 times.
So it cost me probably more than buying a brand spanking new K-Sport system. But never mind. No, the washers are cheap. So.
But yeah, like we said, hopefully it's a worthwhile upgrade. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.
Brakes!
Give me a break. I'm going home.
Yeah, you go.